Good evening, firing squad of the Killing Wall, and welcome to episode 54, briefing number 54 of the Killing Wall. Tonight, I'm feeling a little bit chilly. I'm feeling a little bit shivery. I'm feeling the cold hand of Old Man Winter creeping into my fucking drawers. And you want to know what that tells me? It tells me that tonight's kill order is on the cold and how much I despise it. I find that to be a problem. So, as per usual, let's go over our general orders. First and foremost, help Kinko out, donate, buy one of his t-shirts. General order number 2, download Live 365, listen to us there. Check us out, hellfireradio.com. Check us out on Twitch. Check us out on Snapchat, Instagram, everywhere that you can, especially on YouTube and here at Hellfire Radio on Facebook Live. And I'm so blessed to have you all here tonight. Because, you see, I have a little bit of a thing when it comes to the cold. Many of you know this. Many of you are very aware of this. And when we talk about the cold, I have an opinion. Troop Beth, glad to see you. Troop Tyler, also glad to see you. Sergeant Tristan, awesome to see you in here too. And Adjutant Page, also glad to see you here. We got a couple of bullet points to be talking about here, a couple of good spots to be able to target and hammer out. So, like I've said before, and I expect my troops to follow my orders, share this to groups, share this to timelines, spam the hell out of every single one of your friends for the Killing Wall here at Hellfire Radio. Because I speak the truth. And I'm hoping that every single one of you will spread the good word of the truth. Now, I could see there are a couple of things we could talk about here in regards to the cold. A couple of things that really have me in a bit of a quandary. You see, the cold is a sign of winter. Winter is the season of death. And I like that. I like it a lot. It is a great knowing that things that are old die, things that are new will begin to germinate. But the cold has also got its downsides. It's a harbinger of snow. And we know how I feel about snow now, don't we? The most useless of forms of precipitation, the most dangerous form of precipitation, the worst thing in the fucking world to ever fall from the sky, snow. So, we've also got that bullshit that has a tendency to really grind my gears. It's the freaking Peter Griffin says. It grinds my gears. Okay? You see, the cold. No. Okay? No. But then you also got this other little issue here, this other little problem, this other little issue. Is that snow requires extra layers. How many of you have gone out in the cold and had to bundle up? Why the fuck are we living on a planet where we have to wear 16 fucking layers just to be able to exit outside? We're not in Chernobyl, for fuck's sake. We should not be wearing what seem to be thermal suits because we are not on the surface of the sun, yet we should not be experiencing weather that makes us wish that we were. Bullshit. By the way, for those of you who don't know, that's the international sign for bullshit. But there's other things about the cold that piss me off. You see, when it comes to necessary layers and extra layers and then extra layers, is that you can never find that equilibrium between warmth and suffocation. It's never the same. You see, weather changes. Weather changes from hot to cold to hot to cold to hot to cold to hot to cold. The humidity has a tendency to bounce more fucking often than a rubber ball and a handball court. It's like Weather by Sybil. And for those of you that don't know that reference, Sybil was a film that featured Sally Field, in which case she was playing a person with multiple personality disorder. Now imagine somebody with multiple personality disorder actually fucking being in control of the fucking weather. I find it to be problematic. Don't you? I do. It's unpredictable. You never know. 1 second you're stepping out and it's like sunny and fucking warm and you're feeling the basking of the sun upon you. And me being a fucking vampire one way or the other, the sun is my fucking enemy. But at the same freaking time, when I step outside, I don't want to feel like I'm being bitch slapped by a freaking glacier. And yet that's what fucking happens. Every fucking time. Whoa. Troop Gabby, glad to see you reporting in. And Troop Tyler, you want to know what? Here's the bit about standing snow and dumbasses that try and race in it, okay? You want to know what? Yeah, I'm highlighting that for a very key point, okay? Let me give a little bit of a pro tip for all you truck lovers out there, and usually you fuckers that love to go mudding, okay? Guess what? Four-wheel drive does not affect snow traction. You want to know what affects snow traction? Snow tires. When you're driving in the fucking snow, activating four-wheel drive only means that all four of your wheels spin. That's it. Four-wheel drive does not equal four-wheel stop. When you hit the brakes, you're going to continue to move fast. And you want to know what? Because you decided to drive basically a penis on four wheels, that fucker's going to keep on going after you hit the brakes. More likely than your little four-banger, petite, compact little fuck you mobile. That's more likely to stop when you hit the brakes on snow, as opposed to your hyper-lifted, gigantic fucking tires, need a stepladder to get inside of the cab truck. Okay? Plain and fucking simple. Troop Recep, glad to see you reporting in. It irks me. It irks me, okay? Because you want to know what? Here's another little bit, okay? And this is something that snow is guilty of, that the cold is guilty of. You want to know what the cold is guilty of? It's guilty of hurting. That's right. The cold can actually hurt. The cold can cause physical maladies to suddenly emerge from out of nowhere. You ever meet that person that says, hey, man, I can tell the winter's coming quick. My knees are starting to really hurt. You want to know why? Because the cold affects joints. The cold causes arthritis to flare up. The cold has a tendency to make a person's teeth begin to ache, their head to begin to swell, their bones to begin to fucking rattle from the inside of whatever sinew that is left in them. The cold inspires pain. Is a goth's favorite season, isn't it? When the cold arrives. Because it is pain. But it's bullshit. Absolute major league bullshit. Okay? And this one, this next point, okay? This one's going to get a lot of the ladies pissed. That's right. This one's going to make a lot of the guys go, yep. You want to know what it is? How many of you folks have girlfriends or significant others that do nothing but complain about being cold in temperatures above 65 degrees? To them, that's freezing. Right? This is another reason why you women should hate the cold. Okay? Because when real cold comes along, you're losing your shit. And so's your guy. It's almost like a preternatural, pre-programmed shit, where immediately, if you are born without peen and are happy about that, you must, under every possible circumstance, hate any temperature that is below 80. If it's above 80, you're fine. But below that, you're shivering like you're in a fucking freezer. What the fuck? You see, guys know damn well, if you own a hoodie, you can kiss that fucker goodbye. You're not buying a hoodie. When you own a hoodie, guess what? You're wearing it, but you're just warming it up. You're wearing it in. That's it. Because I guarantee you, the second that you take your eyes off of it or you turn your back off on it, it's hers now. Hers now. Not yours no more. The more layers, the better. I used to get told that women would steal my clothing because it has pockets. But no. Music play. Rest up, this isn't a music show, bud. This is a rant show. This is a talk show. But yeah, music. Not music, cold. See, you threw me off there. See, that's what the cold does. It sets me off. Okay? You see, the cold inspires theft of warm clothing because women can't stand to lose the warm clothing. They need the warm clothing. Would you believe at one point I was legitimately saying to myself, maybe about 3 weeks ago, damn, it's fucking hot as fucking here. Now I'm fucking shivering. Good luck, better language. Okay, bud, when you if so, I'd be able to understand you, boss. I mean, I hate to blow you up, but okay. Makes sense, and I'll be able to smoke you, but I can't because you're not making sense. Let's see here. Yes, the shivering. You want to know what the problem with shivering is that the cold inspires? It breaks teeth. It causes wear and tear. You know that lovely little troop curi glad you're reporting in? When a person is shivering, their whole body begins to vibrate, and some people may like that. You want to know what? I myself, I don't like the vibration. I don't like my whole body and every single muscle of mine tensing up to the point where I feel like I just got done drinking 35 espressos in a fucking row. Okay? Not good. Okay? If I want to shiver, I want to shiver on my own accord, but the cold has a tendency to inspire that immediate autonomic response. And you want to know what? Fuck that. Bullshit. But you want to know what, though? Your whole body begins to shake there, Troop Page. Your whole body begins to. Because your core is suddenly saying, hey, asshole, your core body temperature is actually dropping below 98.6. Fuck that shit. You need to actually warm the fuck up. So it starts shivering in order to be able to cause the muscles and the circulation to actually continue to move from your extremities all the way to your center to keep it warm. Nice little defense mechanism, I feel. But it's a pain in the ass. And it only ever seems to happen during two times. Two times. One, when it's cold. The only other time a person shivers that much, well, there's two times, and one of those times is very pleasant. But the second point where it's not pleasant is when you find out a very, very, very shitty piece of news and you can't do anything about it. I'm not going to talk about the third time yet. I'm saving that one for the AMA. Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way there, Sergeant Tristan, but guess what? You want to know what? I'm here to take your mind off of it, so see a dentist tomorrow and you're good to go. Otherwise, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Troop Gabby. It sucks. Let's see here. Theft of warmth. Yeah, we all know that one person that because of the cold, it's like I said, inspires theft. Because suddenly you want to know what? You're the human furnace. And everybody wants to immediately hug up on you because you're so damn warm. You want to know what happens when you put something cold against something that's warm? You make that cold. Keep your cold to yourself. I like being warm. Wow, I just got messaged. No, I just got updated. I love my phone sometimes. It lets me know all sorts of wonderful things, but at the same time, it has a tendency to interrupt me at the worst possible time. We all know people that do this. It's a little distressing. A little bit. I like my warmth, and I'm happy to have it. Okay? Okay. Let's see here. I wrote down a whole bunch of points. Okay. Oh. You see, the problem with cold is it's a toady. It's a toady. It's either a toady or it comes with its own toady. What do I mean by this? Cold is rarely alone. It is never just cold. It's either cold and rainy, or cold and windy, or cold and snowy, or cold and damp, or cold and sunny. You notice that? It's never just cold. Troop Gabby, I was gonna make you a sergeant, then you said something that's stupid. Plain and simple. You are denied promotion because of that. Fuck snow. Okay? Cold can't stand on its own. It needs that little extra added punch. It's like that extra twist of a fucking knife. You can't just have cold. Because you want to what? You could resolve cold. You could just put more on. It's one of the reasons why it's the only time cold has redemption. And do you know what that is? It's the one temperature that you can actually be able to control and correct. You can always put more on. You can always wear extra sweaters and a coat. You can always wear extra pants or sweatpants underneath jeans. You could always wear 2 or 3 pairs of socks. You could always wear thermal gloves. You could always wear a scarf or a mask or some form of hat. You could always protect yourself from the cold, and I highly recommend that you do. But when it comes to heat, you can only take so much off. And that sucks. Because once you're naked, you're fucked. In one hand, a good thing. In the other hand, another. But that's it. So, the fact that when it gets coupled with something, it just makes it that much more intolerable. Makes it a toady to whatever the hell it is that comes along. When it's windy, it gets cold. When it's raining, it gets cold. When it's damp, it gets cold. It is the ultimate fucking symptom. It's like the most annoying symptom of illness that a person can get. When you've got a cold, you're sneezing. When you've got the flu, you're sneezing. When you're feeling like you got a stomach bug, you're either coughing or sneezing. It's always, always, always accompanied by something else. That's what sucks. And you want to know what? I find it to be kind of apropos for sharing of the name because the rhinovirus legitimately is what we call the common cold. And it's always adapting. And we can't seem to get rid of it. It's the same with the cold. It's always evolving. It's always getting worse. And we can't seem to get rid of it. Isn't that fucked up? I think it is. I find it to be bullshit. I'm going to make. What would you guys think about some merch where it's just me going like that? Some sort of thing like that with emotion. Think that'd be kind of cool? Would that be something you guys would want to buy? Bullshit. I think that's kind of cool. The bullshit motion. And I'll tell you guys that story of how that came to be in a moment. So, Let's see here. Oh, okay, here we go. How many people have heard some of the old wives' tales in regards to cold? I'll tell you a few. They are not true. Okay? I'll tell you one that's constantly pervasive. You'll catch your death of cold. That apparently the temperature outside is a guarantee of illness. Ironically, not so much. It's not the temperature that causes it. Here's the bit: the cold causes your blood vessels to constrict, which in turn opens up your sinuses. You ever notice that if you're indoors all day, you feel like your sinuses are all clogged? The second that you step outside and it's cold, your sinuses suddenly open up. It's a weird thing, isn't it? The thing is that you're more susceptible to otherwise, I guess you could call it halted shit. You know, temperature does, if anything, kills bacteria if it's exceedingly cold. Viruses have a tendency to spread a lot more prevalently in the heat when people are far more exposed. So it's kind of counterintuitive. I'm just curious as to where the hell the etymology of that was. You know? There's another one, though, and this one is easily disproven. The idea that heat escapes the head. Bullshit. Bullshit. Believe it or not, heat does not escape your head. Heat escapes everywhere. You want to stay warm, keep your core warm, your torso, because heat immediately escapes your extremities rather quickly. That means hands, feet, dick if you got it, and head, and nips, especially if they're protrusive. The cold hits those first. All the blood leaves that to immediately go to the core to keep the organs warm. Wearing a hat is not an immediate warmer. You have to guard your whole body, not just one part. That is a bullshit wives' tale about how wearing a hat will suddenly keep you warm. No, not going to protect you any further. Same thing with ears. Blood leaves your ears too. As a matter of fact, it leaves your ears first. Which brings me to the next point. You know what that is? Frostbite. You know you can catch frostbite even if there's no snow? Bye-bye fingers and toes and ears. And Lord forbid other parts. You could catch frostbite in extreme cold without there ever being any snow. Just exposure to cold. Straight up. You know the viscous fluids in your eyes can freeze? Your tears can freeze. Your eyes can get frozen shut. Tell me how fucked that is. That's all because of the cold. Fucked, didn't it? And it's a little it's coupled with the whole idea that your body does naturally try to do everything it can to guard itself. When you're shivering, your body is trying to cause warmth by forcing blood flow everywhere that it can. Okay? At the same time, what it is doing is it's pulling all of the blood from your extremities to the core in order to try and keep it regulated. And yes, your eyes can freeze shut. It sucks, but it can happen. The only remedy for it, legitimately, is to dump your head in some cold water. Not freezing water, cold water. Let the ice slowly reach the same temperature as the water in the bucket or sink. Do not pour hot water on it. Whatever you do, that's the only treatment. Then, once the ice has broken up, then you warm the water up. That's an old school medical treatment. Water has to be cold, but not freezing. Just cool water. That's treatment for frostbite. And then you warm the water up. And I'll be teaching you guys some stuff. You'll learn stuff. Oh, that's another thing. Troop Page points it out very well. If you're ever actually stupidly cold, do not heat yourself up too fast. And that's true. Because when your body actually reaches to a point where it drops below 98.6 degrees, I know that there are people that will drop down into like the mid to low 80s in body core temperature. The only way, and that's when you're experiencing hypothermia. The better way to halt that is to slowly warm yourself up. Tepid water, which is like one step below warm. Okay? Tepid water is like 60 degrees, maybe 50. You want to bring it up in increments of 10 degrees so that your body can slowly begin to warm up. This is why they say skin to skin contact when you've got cold to that degree is the best way because the heat transfer from the body is slower. It allows your body to actually heat up on its own over time. Well, congrats to you there, Sergeant Tristan. And congrats to you, Troop Gabby. We've reached that part of the night. Time for mini rant minutes. For the next 10 minutes, I'll do a mini rant on whatever the hell it is you guys want to yammer on. And I'll tell you guys some stories. Or I could just do some stories tonight. No, I'm not going to, Troop Page. I could do a rant about how meat popsicles are awesome. Oh, goodness. Cold coffee. But, I mean, the cold, I gotta give it to hibernating animals. They've got it right. They say fuck this shit. They go to sleep for about 6 months, and when they wake up, everything's warm again. I love it. you know, animals that hibernate. But there's a benefit to the cold. No spiders or mosquitoes or basically any insect known to mankind that goes outside. Unfortunately, that also means that warm houses become their home so that they can consistently exist in warm temperatures. Have at it if you can, Troop Tristan. Sergeant Tristan, sorry. What the hell is a meat popsicle? Ask Bruce Willis. Oh, Sergeant Page, you're learning. It's a term that legitimately makes Paige lose her shit. She hates that. You know, some people hate the word moist. She hates the term meat popsicle. Hates even more when you refer to mustard as its discharge. That's right, I went there. Ah. Now, here's the thing. I see 4 of you in here right now. If I could get 4 of you to share this out to 10 places, I'll have 40 shares. I see 7 are viewing right now. If all 7 of you were to share this out to 10 places, I'll have 70 shares. Hopefully, you follow orders and do this so I can continue to bring you guys some kick ass content. Because if I know you're watching, I'm a lot more motivated. An injury, Troop Curie. If mustard is the discharge, ketchup is the injury. Or a bobbit. Bobbit. Pip it. Twist it. Oh gosh, I love you guys. But yeah, I mean the cold ecosystem wise, yeah, it opens shit up for growth. It's the only good thing I could say about it. You know, the winter, we lose crap. Yeah. It opens up for the spring. So yay. We've just been getting longer winters. I hope we enter an ice age, honestly. Make the strong survive. Let the weak get eaten. If you could survive the ice age, you deserve to be here. Hit the sheet, Sergeant Tristan. You don't gotta ask me no permission. Yeah. And I'm so happy now. I have a car with heated seats as well. Unfortunately, I don't have remote start, so I'm freezing my ass off until that happens usually. You know, and I would I would be delighted if I could get some of you folks to buy the merch. And by the way, here's the link for the merch. I'm gonna come out with new designs if you guys are actually interested. Maybe one of me going like this. Oh, you want to hear the story about that? I'll tell it. For all 6 of you watching. I was stationed out in New Mexico, and we had this one troop drunk off his ass, and he was sitting in the back seat of the car, and we were going out drinking for the night. At least those of us that weren't driving. And he had decided to pregame. And when he pregamed, he was so freaking blitzed out of his ass when he found out we were going to some of the sports bars that didn't have anybody that he could hit on and fail at, that he was legit going, "That's bullshit. It's bullshit. We need to go to this bar because it's bullshit." And when he was doing that so that it was coming up right on the ear of the driver while we were driving. So from that point on, every single time we saw him, we're like, "Hey man, how's it going? Is it still bullshit?" So now that's my sign for bullshit. Ugh. The only cool freaking thing I remember of my time out there during that, standing in line to go into a club, I ended up making out with a complete and total stranger chick. I had pre-gamed, so I was drunk. She was drunk. Just ended up making out. Only made out. Man, at the time, it wasn't cool. You know. On the off chance, I can't even remember who the hell she was. We never exchanged numbers, never exchanged names. As far as we knew, we were complete and total strangers. But you want to know what? I regret that. That's the weird thing. When I was stationed out in New Mexico, the cold had a weird way of creeping up at you because during the day, we're talking like 80s, 90s. And then once the freaking sun went down, it would drop down to the 50s. Thank you very much, there, my Kiwi troop. If you can, share this out to 10 places, please. But yeah, I mean, in all honesty, folks, it's weird when you're living in places like a basin. You know, the ground doesn't retain the heat, and when the wind comes, it comes with a vengeance. But I mean, that's just the thing. I think I'm gonna call it an early night, guys. I'm a little wiped, but seriously, check out all of our kick-ass shit. We got some stuff coming up down the freaking pipeline. I think you'd all enjoy on several of our platforms. Tyson's got his show on YouTube. You've got Scratch with his show. You've got the She Head Bangs chicks that are kicking ass. Scoops and Mischief, I think, are back from tour. So they got some kick-ass stuff coming up and down. I think this Saturday we have Craft Beer Corner. I don't know. Let me double check and make sure, but we may have that still going on this Saturday. And check out Scratch of Voodoo show. Check out Justice's show on Friday. Highly recommend. Ooh, my heater's talking to me. The heater monster is speaking. But yeah, I mean, this last weekend was kind of rough on me. I'm just glad that it's done with, and tomorrow's going to be even rougher. So, every one of y'all know what you have to do tomorrow if you haven't done it already, and if you have, kudos to you. hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow. You know, we're in for some. Hang on to your seats. We're in for some chop. Batten down the hatches. Strap in tight. We're in for a hell of a ride. Until then, I'm your rank commander. I say, kick ass, take names, stay frosty, locked, cocked, ready to rock, and I will see every single one of you tomorrow. That's a fucking order. I hereby declare this meeting dismissed.